back up. So KDB, yay, KDB, May. We have our charisma coach for the century, Ashley Brock, marketing guru, and Megan Hansen, the one who can make anything fire. Right here, it's right here.
All right, yes, I was going to say, face your chest, chair out a little bit.
Yes.
All right, well, ladies, we had some ladies that were already lined up, so go ahead and get back in line.
Come
Trina.
on down.
Trina is first right here. She's from San Antonio, Texas.
Yay.
Good morning, sales girls, or afternoon. Hey, so I have a question. I have a membership that has.
Do you have a question for a specific person?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
So whoever wants to take
Whoever.
Okay.
It's a membership question. I have a membership for 4 years, and some people in the membership have never done anything. And obviously my price was too low originally, but are they paying just to be in the identity? And what do I do with people inside a membership who, even when I reach out to have those beautiful ideal customer conversations, it's just falling flat. And I'm like, I don't like taking money from people who aren't doing anything. It feels like dead weight, but what do you do?
Has anyone had that? I mean, I feel like in yoga, like, yeah,
I can talk about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, they are truly just in there to be in your presence. Like, that is it. And
But never showed up for calls.
It's interesting because it's like accountability for them. And I can say this especially because I am this person. I'm in memberships and like I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be there. I will pick the content that I need. I'll participate when I need to. I'm probably not ever showing up live, but I'm getting what I need out of the membership. And if they're still there and they know they're paying, don't worry about it.
Okay. Thank you.
awesome. Good question. Woo. Let's celebrate everyone's amazing
Yeah.
question.
Woo.
Hi, my name is Suman. Before I get to my question, how many of you, raise of hands, believe it's important to be around sales girls in the room?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, who over here, and besides all of you on stage, know of any sales girls in Southeast Asia or India? Y'all will save me a little bit. A few flights, I hope, but more importantly, y'all will help me stay in the room with them. So if y'all could do me that favor of making sure if you know of a sales girl in that region, you will tell me first. Yeah. Yes?
And Suman, can I encourage you for a second? I don't know if you guys know this, but some of my best friends don't know that they're my friend.
Yeah.
Because they're the people that I listen to the most. Like, truly. And whenever I feel like I need counsel and I feel kind of in the arena alone, I literally imagine myself walking into a boardroom with all these people that I listen to constantly. And I imagine them answering my question. And I literally will picture myself in the room with them, even though they don't know that I exist. So I just want you to know, that's available for you in your mind. Yes, this is so powerful, and it is the hit that we all need. And you can really access it up here when you need it. You got this, Suman. We love you.
Ooh. This is Brooke.
Hi, guys. So we're inching closer and closer to that $1 million mark. We're not quite there, but we're getting there. And I would love to speak to you guys who maybe have hit $1 million or more. And I'd love to hear, what are some of the key things you consider when you do create offers, new ones, as you, grow your business?
Well, old Ashley wouldn't do this, but new Ashley really thinks about the value and how much you're going to charge based on the result and the value. I think before I would always start, we were just talking a second ago, there's so many ways you could start. You could start at the bottom and start at the top. And so I feel like when I have a new offer, I really am thinking who can I serve the absolute best, and let's start charging the value and start here. I think so many times we start here and think we don't deserve to start here.
Yeah.
But you totally can, and you can do it tomorrow.
I love that.
Yeah.
The other thing too is it's not always about creating more offers, and it's about looking at your current offers and where are you missing out on money, and where are you missing out on serving people on those offers. Every single one of your offers, there should be an upcharge of VIP, get in the room with me. Get in the room with 5 other people. Upgrade to one-on-one VIP with me. Downsells. I mean, so that's one thing is whenever I'm like, okay, like maybe we're not hitting our numbers or whatever, it's where are we not serving? And I can always find those little gaps.
Yeah.
So just taking a look at every single offer and just, where can you like sprinkle more magic around it?
I love that. Thank you guys.
Hello, ladies. First of all, thank you. My name's Josie. Thank you, each and every one of you, for changing my brain chemistry over the last year, for real. My question is for somebody, me, who is transitioning from one business venture, building up my business online very successfully, to completely burning it to the ground and doing something completely differently. Very scary, but also extremely exciting. My Instagram has a lot of prospects, so I would love to use it. However, I've gotten other feedback that I should probably start a new one.
Can you just say my question? I'm getting lost in the sauce for a minute. I want to make sure I understand.
My question is, should I start a new Instagram account for a new business or utilize the one that I've built up successfully that potentially has prospects in it?
Cool.
If truly you have prospects, I would say you could keep it. I think this is really going to depend on the person. If you are because you could be marketing to 25,000 people that only like 0.5% are listening to, and in that case, I would just go ahead and start start from scratch. To me, it's an energetic thing too, and it's like it's pouring into that new account and defining what you want it to be. But if the pivot is not that great, I have seen people successfully say like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. And also just kind of gauging like, is this working or is this not? And if it's not, then okay, I'm gonna start a new one. So I know that's not a cut and dry answer, but I think it really does depend.
I built a really successful business in the multi-level marketing space, and then I started my House of Color. And so I have done a really great job of building other people's brands, right? And when I started building my own brand, that's where everything fell into place. And it was like this beautiful umbrella that encompassed everything. And I was telling my girlfriend, I'm like, at the beginning of the year, I'm gonna do this new launch. I'm gonna let my audience know that this is what I'm doing. And she was like, you're already doing it. You don't have to tell anybody. So just start doing it. And just the mind, you've shifted mentally, right? Your audience will start shifting with you, and the ones that will come with you, they're gonna come with you on this journey. So I wouldn't change anything. I would just shift what your language and what you're doing, and it's going to, you're gonna follow your purpose, girl.
Yeah, that's really good.
Hey, make sure you say, everyone starts with my question is, and then the question, one sentence.
My question is, when you have a buyer who's bought, how do you keep the focus on them when you're trying to congratulate them and welcome them in? Because we're in the business of making believers, right? Not just clients.
You said, how do I keep it on them when I'm congratulating them for buying?
Yeah, like welcoming them in.
It sounds like that mindset already is keeping it on them. Is there something that's happened where you're like, oh, that wasn't about them, or something that we've said that makes you think?
Well, just today I had someone buy and I was like, hey, I'm so excited for you. And I know you guys have been training me to not say I. And so then my question was, what would you say instead?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Well, the way that you asked the question was the answer, just so you know, which is awesome. But the way that you welcome someone is, like, welcome in. Like, you are so, like, you're welcome here. You are about to win so big. I can't wait to watch you transform. Like, you can say that, you know, but it's about, like, them winning, not you being so excited and thankful for their purchase. That's where it's like, come on. This isn't about your thankfulness for their support. This is about their transformation and them stepping into that immediately, right? Anything else? Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't even see
Like Toastmasters. Do you guys know what Toastmasters is? Yeah, so Toastmasters is a public speaking club, and I cannot recommend it enough. There's probably one in your area, and you just signed up and you get to stand in front of warm bodies looking at you and speak. And it's amazing. But they train you not to say thank you at the end of a speech, because they say you're the one who did all the work. They're the one who, like, they should be thanking you, you know? And when I think about when someone buys from me, I never say thank you, never. I say, like, way to go. You made an awesome decision. Let's go. Like, it's on to, like, the next decision, because it's not about me. Honestly, like, thank you is kind of like about me. It's like, thank you. Oh, thank you. It's like, no. Well done. Let's go. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Gigi, and my question is based on something that Megan mentioned, which was embodying the transformation. And I feel like this is something that I do really well with clients and prospects in my life, but when it comes to showing it on social media, the question that came to mind is, do I show what I'm doing or how to do it? Which I know it's not how, but like B-roll, tips, like so much came to mind. So do you have any advice on that? All of the above. Okay.
It's it all works. It all works. I think really the most effective way to do it is kind of like what I showed with Ashley, where she's not like, hey everybody, look at me, I'm outside with my kid and I'm teaching you how to not have to be on social media all the time. She's just doing it. Just do it. But yes, also to the B-roll and reminding people of the how. Now, what's interesting is I think there's a couple different ways to do this. If you follow me, I'm doing the how a lot. I teach everything that's in my programs. You can find on my social media. Now, I don't recommend that to everyone. That's just what works. That's what works for me. They don't do that at all, and they're also very successful. So I think you have to find what works for you. But it's truly just that, yes, that embodiment.
Gigi, I follow you on social media. I watch your stuff every day. You're already doing it. You're already doing it. I am your ideal client, right? And I see it. In the winter, you posted a video of you scraping the snow off of your car, right? And being like, okay, and this isn't the only activity that I get to do today. You're already doing it. You got this.
That's amazing. This is Amy.
Hey y'all. So I am very new to all things Sales Girls. My beautiful sister here, rock star of a mama, brought me this week. Yeah. So yesterday, Macy and Kat's story, just getting to hear a little bit more of the start of all of this really resonated with me. I'm absolutely at that point of life, like newly married, newly coming out of my first job out of college. And okay, my question is about mindset. Shifting a mindset from kind of always what I looked at of being an entrepreneur. I thought of, you know, the big CEO that lived in New York that didn't have time for family. And then growing up, I always thought I would love to be a stay-at-home mom. And I never saw any in between. And now I'm learning that, like, to be the best wife and mama I can be is being that Proverbs 31 woman, but having those old beliefs of, you know, hustle, no time for family. I'm seeing the possibilities, and my mindset is already being changed, but what would y'all's advice be for shifting into that, out of that fearful over here mindset into sales girl mindset?
I mean, how long do we have? I always thought I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. You said that, right? Yeah. Sorry, it's a little echoey, so I just want to make sure. Yeah, I always thought I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. And then I got married at 22. And I was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm not ready for kids. But I'm like, I'm not, like, what is this gap that I do with it? And that's when this calling came about, you know? And that's when I was like, oh, crap. I have to keep going. Oh, my gosh. And so then it was like, oh, man, I got to leave this identity that I thought I was always going to be. And then I get that. And I just want you to know it was such a process. It was such a process. And it is not a just light on. You're like, oh, this is who I am now. Check, check, check. It is such a process. But I will tell you, after having it, the way I have cried to Catherine Schubert before babies came, when I was pregnant, not being able to understand how on earth this could possibly work, and the way that babies make you better. Yeah. I have never been more productive in my life. I've never had a more clear mind. I've never had more passion in my life since having a baby. Your brain rewires the most and the fastest the year after you have a baby. Did you know that? You know when you have a baby and all of a sudden you hear a newborn cry and you're like, oh gosh, you hear it differently, right? that's your brain like rewiring to hear things and to see things and to see danger, just to see things differently. So you can actually use that time once you have a baby to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna like throw an AirPod in while I'm breastfeeding and just like rewire it intentionally. And you find, and I will last thing, I promise, you will be so creative because when you start thinking, what do I want my kids to believe? Hello, beliefs. If I had to, like, if something happened to me tomorrow and I could leave a book for them, if I could leave a video for them, if I could leave a message for them, what would I want them to remember? That's your content. And all of a sudden it clears right up. Anyone who's foggy and unsure, what do you want your kids to believe? Boom. And nothing makes things clearly like what's important, what's not important than having a baby. So babies make you so much better. You are made for this. It doesn't have to be a 12-hour day. It can be a 2-hour nap time, and you can get it done, baby. You got this. I'm so proud of you.
Huh? I said I will say I don't have kids yet.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I know. Trust me. I like had to go through this without like I made this whole story of how it was just totally impossible. And it is just not, okay, for real, last thing. What's really cool about motherhood is sometimes little things can feel so big. It's like, oh my gosh, my baby didn't do what they're supposed to do on time. Oh my, is this do y'all know what I'm talking about? When you have like bigger problems, those little things don't like matter as much, you know? And your kids become more adaptable and like you help them go with the flow and like it goes together like peanut butter and jelly. And it is the most fun, flowy thing ever. It's the time of your life, and I want you to be so excited about it and not nervous about it. You're made for it.
Somebody say, sail like a mother.
That's right. Sail like a mother.
Period.
Hi, I'm Ina. My question is, how can I make my messaging super clear and understandable so that I can get the right eyes on my business? My goal right now is podcast guesting, collaborations, that kind of thing.
So yesterday, y'all remember when I had the like whiffed, like what's in it for them, and then the payoff? One of you asked, one of you asked, like, what's the difference between what's in it for you and the payoff? Like, it's the same thing. And there's something that I've learned, and it's about the value and real value. And so I feel like it helps with your messaging to think about that. So like the value of something, you know, what does it actually give you? Oh, maybe revenue is the real value, but the real value is the ultimate payoff, like what they get from what you do. And I know we talked about what you do, and so I feel like figuring out how to be as clear on both of those. Like I think, Macy, you've said before, it's harder to say something in less amount of time than more. And so I feel like just trying to say how clear can you be and thinking about, which you already know, value and real value. So just thinking about those two in your messaging. Yeah.
Also, nothing will get you more clear on your messaging than writing a book.
Not that part.
If you want to go into a black hole for a year.
You want to meet yourself, start writing a book. That's crazy.
No, but it's true. It's still true.
Okay, so my question is, how do you get a team bought into like a big financial goal for the business when obviously, you know, that 10 million or however much isn't going into their bank account?
They have to be so completely bought in on the mission and the value that the clients are getting that they would almost work for free. When you have someone so bought in on the payoff that they're giving to other people, just like was said on stage, when your kids can't love you as much as you love them, when you sell the payoff that they're giving to other people, they just want to get that high over and over again. That will change everything, I promise.
And I'll say this, Sydney, like, it's not all going into your pocket either.
Yeah, literally.
Like, it's going into a lot of things. Yeah. You know what I mean? The business has to stay healthy. The business has got, you can't kill the cash cow. You can't. And so, I mean, everyone has stories about what money is and who's getting what, but it's like, hey, everyone, we're going to like make everybody win as much as possible, and the business has to stay healthy, period. That is king, is business, not me. I know it's not going into your pocket. A little bit is, but not all of it. So the point is, did you see my 20 million and of like the impact and all the people? Remember that demonstration? That is a demonstration of like, hey, this is what 20 million represents, not the $20 million. Does that make sense? Yeah. And we're super transparent about, hey, here's like, this is what we spent on this and this is what we spent on that. And the $1 million investment was like, hey team, this affects all of us here. This is a risk. Like, are you good? Are you good? Are you good? Are you good? Like, that's it. We're all in it, you know?
I also keep complete financial transparency with my team. So we have percentages of like what is a red month, a yellow month, and a green month. And like if as a team we hit 3 green months in a row, you get X bonus, or like we get to buy X equipment so that you can do X, or we can go for a spa day or whatever that is. So they are so bought in on hitting those financial goals because of course not all of it is going in their pocket, but they get a reward on the back end.
Thank you. This is a question for Megan and Macy and Catherine. So you guys wrote a book, and I'm doing some market research. Tell me what sold you on the value of writing a book for your business, and what was the real value? What emotionally drove you when you were in the black hole to complete that book?
I think my answer is short, but it never is. Okay, so in the fall of back in the day, we almost did a course, and our question was, what would we want to teach our kids? Because we're wanting our people to come in like believing the right things and on the right like actions, kind of like a prequel to the training that we did. How do you create the best customer? So we're like, well, what would we want our kids to believe? And we actually referred to.
Put it closer.
I'm so sorry. We're like, what do we want our kids to believe and think and do? And then we're like, people like Megan, they're just like looking at the sun all the time, and they're like so joyful and charismatic. Like, how do we create that? Okay, so we almost did a course, and then one day at the gas pump, I was listening to an Audible book by John Gordon, which is like an hour long, and I was like, we could do that. So that was the thought process.
And she walked in and she said, we're not doing a course. Like, we're doing
it's not a course, it's a book, and it's going to be Persuade for Good. And that's how it was born.
Yeah, and I don't know how much money that book has done in terms of like actual sales, but it's been pretty.
Yeah, but you said yesterday in the VIP lunch, you were like, the point of a book is not the book; it's everything after the book.
Yeah, which that was not in our mind at all.
It was not, but thankfully it did fulfill this purpose and this belief gap for people. And we self-published. We wrote it on a Google Doc. You could send an email to tell them everywhere where we got it printed. But we were getting it printed for like $30 a book. Like, it was so silly, like the way that we did it. But we got a better printer so that you could use them too, and it just worked out. My friend,
a way more official book.
Did a different book.
Yeah, I actually ended up hiring so I self-published, but you can work with like I think they call them hybrid publishers, and the difference is you maintain most of the IP or all of it. You make the majority of the money on the book, but you pay them an astronomical amount of money. And I saw the return, but I also have a large audience, and I would say like this is real life. I don't think most people that go with these hybrid publishers probably make their investment back. Just based on the response that I got from the publisher, well, I'll call him the publisher, about how great the sales were. And I was, and then you get your check and you're like, damn, that's still not that much, when you're selling courses there is a thought process that goes into it. Now, the biggest benefit that I got, and I just said this, was I have never been so crystal clear on my messaging and my mission in my life since writing that book. And that has made a massive impact on how I am able to show up every day and sell my courses. So there is that. But if you really do the thing like I did, and I heard this from someone else who writes books. They said, he told me I set aside about 6 months at least of the year where I basically shut my business down because you can't run it at the same time. And it's so true. I mean, I just shared this. Like, I got so disconnected from my business and nearly burned the whole thing down because it was a lot. So I don't like talking about this because it really is such a cool thing to have a published book, but you do need to just understand what you're going into, and if you're gonna really do the damn thing, it's a lot of work.
And then when you need help with vocals going into your audiobook, because yes, because I have a book as well, but it was the audiobook that was the most strenuous part of it, and I'm like, man, if I didn't have all my vocal background training, I would be exhausted right now. And I sing on the audiobook too. Y'all might want to check it out.
My question is, my business has a monthly membership, and when I started, I was just trying to get girls in there, and I did not charge appropriately, and so now I'm at a place where my business has totally outgrown what these monthly members are paying. How do I honor my ride or dies who have been with me, but also I know that I'm not charging enough, and I need to make a change?
You know what Myron says? Yesterday's prices are not today's prices. And so you can honor would you like to grandfather people in?
No, they're not paying enough for what I give them. Like, they need to pay me more.
Okay.
No, yeah. So I'm wondering, like, my current members, like, how do I, like, diplomatically tell them, like, we're going up, girls? Like,
has anyone done that to current members? Oh,
So one thing my dad has always taught me is sales is like taking candy from a baby. You offer them something so much better instead. Trade. So it's all framing. Hey, here's what's actually going to be so much better about this program. And think about how you can like weave in some things in, maybe some other experts you can weave in, maybe you can add a little experience or some kind of extra like zhuzh and be like, this is the new way, and here's the price of it. It's just a simple framing. It's not like take it or leave it, but a little bit take it or leave it, and it's going to be so much better than the old way.
No, we got time for probably 2 more questions.
We have
and then
10
we're gonna
minutes.
wrap up because we got to clean up faux din-din.
Hi, my name is Katie. My question is, how do I overcome the fear or limiting belief around I need to kind of get rid of some of my legacy clients to make room for the type of clients I want and need to take me to where I want to go?
Oh, yeah, LOL. What? She just looked, I said, she goes, girl, that's you. That's what she just said. Get rid.
So you have clients that you no longer want to work with, but you want to create a new offer?
I have clients I've been working with for like 3 or 4 years, and the type of work I do for them is not the type of work I want to continue doing, and it's not the type of work I do for my new clients that pay a higher premium.
Yeah.
Katie's an inner circle girl, so you already have the sales skills. Honestly, I remember a day where I was like about to throw up because I was about to email all my clients and share with them that I was doubling my price, and literally Laura Beth knows, not a single one. They were like, all good. And I was like, what? Like, they may, if they're not the right clients, just say, hey, this is where we have to move on, and you can break up in a nice way. I feel like. But you can also say, hey, this is the new price for the services moving forward. But
if I were you, what I would do is I would say something like, I'm not going to be able to like continue the service, but here's what I can do. Just give them something, which is like, hey, I'm going to recommend you 3 people that you can actually interview yourself that is going to do so much, even a better job than what I can do. And better yet, I'm going to train them exactly how I've been doing it and see if they, just because you want to leave with, great relationships. So here's what I can do for you, and I love you so much. Mwah. Bye.
Hello, ladies. My name is Taisha, and I just want to first start off by saying thank you for such an amazing summit. I've just been mind blown for these past 2 days, so thank you, ladies, for that. My question is I'm an event planner, and I have young ladies an event planner, designer. So I have young ladies and men who wants to learn from me, and I want to show up more on Instagram, and I also have clients, but it's like, how do I separate the two, or how do I kind of work that where it's like, okay, I want to be the sales girl, right? And, get these people into like my coaching program, but it's like, I have my clients, like, how do you do that?
I got to tell you my first thought. If I were in your shoes, I've never honestly given this advice before, but what if your coaching program was them helping you at the event? Like, what if they pay you? Like, there's some sort of like agreement, or the offer would have to make sense. Like, I'm not sure.
I do
But, like,
have someone.
They have to learn in the thing. Ain't no one about to learn how to do an event on Zoom.
Correct. And
They
I
gotta
do
be
have
foot-
someone who registered to
They gotta
do it.
they gotta see the look in the client's eyes when they're nervous about filling 500 seats. They gotta see it. They gotta feel it. And you say, hey, talk to them. Handle it. That's priceless.
You should have just dropped the mic on the floor after that. That's such a good idea.
So good.
I think we got time for 2 more. Here and here.
Hi, my name is Megan. I wrote it down. My question is, right now I have a bestie hot mess appearance on socials. How do I create more authority to increase the amount of conversions? Right now I have a ton of conversations. But I
Wait, you
need
said something about bestie hot mess?
Yeah, I'm kind of like your ADHD bestie hot mess, so there's not a lot of authority in what I say. And I want yeah, it's more like, yeah, girl, let's talk about whatever. But no, I want to sell you stuff.
That's when you say, what did you say? My question is, just.
My question is,
right,
how do I
I'm
have
saying
more-
that you should say that to them. Like, you going in, if you're having these relatable conversations and you're not, right? Is that your question?
Like up front on your content and things like that?
I think yes. I'm someone they want to be friends with, but not somebody they want to buy from.
What do you sell?
Ooh, then you're at an imbalance. You have high warmth. And we need to bring up your competence. Because when you're equal, it's lethal, baby. So you are the best friend, but you need to come in with some authority. Clean up that hot mess express, because you're not. You're better than that, okay? Because you're relatable, but it is your job to keep them from being basic, and you're going to help them level up. So we need to up that competence.
Okay.
When we started dressing like a different way, someone told us, I liked how you used to dress. And I'm just like, okay, that's all right, girl. I love you so much. Like, let them watch you develop and refine. And like, what a gift is that going to be for them? You being just and I will say, it's kind of like that sharing versus selling. The nurse that said, did you hear that story? The nurse that said, I'm like here to help you do this versus, so just cut the sharing, and every time you show up, it's like for a purpose. There is a reason. It's not, hey, I'm just checking in. Hey, what's going on? Hey, happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a good day. It's like there is a purpose for a reason, a message that I have every time I show my face, because you'll start training people to be like, your name's Megan? You'll start training people to be like, ooh, Megan's on. I'm going to go to my closet so I can hear every word she says. You train people on how they treat you. And so if you got some fluff, they're like, oh, there's the fluff, versus, oh, Megan's got something to say right now. Like people have told us, like, I save your stories for the end of the day when I'm by myself. Wow. There ain't no fluff. Like, I ain't trying to make anybody confused what we're doing up in here. No confusion, That's how I want you to think.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
My question is based on what you're talking about today with price, like how you're talking about the prices going up. Do you base that on value? Like in this same like business niche, if you're like, okay, in 2 months my clients average $50,000, would you increase?
Yeah,
based on that?
My brain is demand.
Okay, so if I'm coming up to like capacity and I'm seeing those kinds of results, what do you recommend? Like, what's like your formula for that? Is it by an extra how? Because you said like 4x, but I mean, it doesn't.
No, I know we don't have a formula, but you feel it. It's a feeling. Yeah. Because when we first opened the Inner Circle, for the very first time, it was 25,000.
Yeah.
And it filled up like to this. I think like 14 people joined or something, and I was like, okay. And then after that, it was like we went straight to 50.
Yeah.
To respect the room, to honor the room, to deliver on what we sold. And so like Ashley, you've heard her results. Like after Inner Circle had only been open for like 2 months at that time, and so we started hearing the math of like, okay, when they got that Voxer feedback, it was on a Thursday, and then that Friday they were able to like double their blah blah blah, like whatever happened. So it starts to like feel there's like a rhythm to. This is the result. This is the capacity. This is the result. This is the capacity.
Okay, because now that I'm getting more qualified people, I'm seeing those kinds of results. I'm like, dang, you made $50,000 in 2 months. So, but the price that it's currently at, I'm like, I know that probably needs to shift up. But my mindset, I just want to make sure I'm like on the right track with like by how much I'm increasing.
And we can talk about that more in Voxer.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you all for all your wonderful questions.